If you want to pull it up, we will get into it. And while you're pulling it up, I think, talking overall about the run game, um, Schottenheimer commended the effort in the first half. 3.1 yards per carry. I think it was commendable for sure. And that's, again, this is an overall perspective as far as it goes with um, run defense. But then in the second half, you saw Cody Schrader like really turn it up. But John, I'm gonna turn it over to you here and kind of just communicate to us audience about what you're seeing here and some of the bright spots and certainly a lot of the low spots you saw.
Yeah, I want to start with a bright spot because honestly, there wasn't a ton of them against the Rams. You saw a lot of really poor gap discipline. You saw defensive tackles getting moved. You didn't see the kind of quickness out of their stance that you want to see from the defensive tackles in this scheme. But one guy who I thought showed some good stuff against the run, especially when taking on double teams, is Perion Winfrey. He's lined up right here as the 3 technique to the right side of the offense. And you'll see here, he does a really, really good job of taking on the initial double team. When you want to take on initial double team, you want to make sure that you're attacking one of the offensive linemen. You don't want to kind of hit them in the center because then you're taking on 600 pounds at once, really. So you got to attack and kind of you want to create knockback on one of the 2 double teamers so that they're sitting on different planes. And as you can see, when they make contact, they're on the same plane. But watch what Perion Winfrey does. You see how he creates that separation?
Yeah.
And that is the reason why he's able to get square, running back declares where he's going to go, and he's able to shed and make the play. I think that's something that's really impressive for somebody like Perion Winfrey, especially because he's someone who historically has been regarded as an upfield player. He's a gap shooter. He's not someone who can really anchor at the point of attack and beat these kind of double teams. But as you see here, really fantastic technique, power, positioning. He doesn't get too turned there. You see it when he presses in and his left shoulder is a little bit upfield. He makes sure that he gets back square so that he can take up that horizontal space.
Got skinny.
And when the running back cuts right back into him, he's there to make the play.
Yeah, and he got skinny, right? And I think that was something you emphasized on Twitter on Saturday.
And then then you can kind of see on the same play, Mozzie Smith, when he takes it, you don't see the same type of power. You see he gets knocked out of his gap. That is just not what we want to see. When he's lined up at this 2I, he has to occupy this A gap right here to the weak side of the offensive line. And as you see, he takes on the first one good, but when the double teamer comes, it knocks him over to the B gap.
Yeah.
And as you can see there, if Winfrey wasn't creating that knockback, there's a nice cutback lane for the running back to get to the second level untouched. So Winfrey, not only was he doing well for his responsibility, he took up his gap, he beat the double team, but he also made it so that Dallas wasn't punished for Mozzie Smith getting displaced out of his gap. And that kind of shows you the dichotomy that was going on with the defensive tackle play.
Yeah.
And another one that I wanted to show here is Jay Toya. And I thought Jay Toya did a better job than Mozzie Smith. He showed some activity. He showed some violence and stuff. But he was really, really poor with his gap discipline consistently. And this play kind of shows an example. And it's kind of a place where a guy of Jay Toya's size, he's kind of, in my opinion, he's playing a little bit out of position here as a 3 technique, a wide 3 technique especially. He's not really shaded. He's all the way almost over in almost a 4I. And as you can see here, it's just way too easy for the left tackle to reach and overtake him. He's slow. Look at how slow he is out of the stance. The offensive tackle is already getting into his first step, and he's just now picking up his hands to get off. And that's just way too easy for the left tackle to be able to reach and cut off.
Yeah.
And that's going to make life difficult across the run fits of the defense, because if Jay Toya and pre-snap, he's responsible for this B gap. And that means that the linebackers are expecting him to be in this B gap. So most likely this linebacker is going to be here in the A gap, and the safety coming down is going to be here in this C gap. But because Toya gets knocked out of his spot, now we're going to have 2 different defenders kind of occupying the same space. And that's what allows the running back to have the lane to cut back.
Yeah, and whoever that
When-
safety was crashing down, is that Marquise Bell? I mean, he didn't do any favors either. Is that 14 at the top?
I believe so.
Yeah, and he didn't
Yep,
he didn't
yep,
serve
yep.
any favors here. I mean, you see Drake Stoops taking him on and twisting
And
him
look at
around.
his
Like, how the
eyes.
hell does
Look-
that happen?
And you can see his eyes. It's all about his eyes here. Look at how his eyes drop when he's making, look right there, when he's making contact.
Yeah.
He's not seeing his target. So that's why Drake Stoops is able to get inside of him and kind of press and create that running lane. And also what we see here from Jay Toya, the opposite of what Perrion Winfrey did. Look at how he's sideways. When you're sideways, you're not taking any gap. You're not occupying any gap. You need to occupy the horizontal space in the gap and stay square. Because he's so turned sideways, when the running back runs right by his ear hole, there's nothing he can do. He can't shed. He can't do anything to make the play. So that's just, in my opinion, really poor defensive tackle play. And it's something that I've been afraid of for someone like Jay Toya, who's so big, yes, but that horizontal quickness and horizontal movement skills just aren't there to be able to stay connected to your gap consistently against zone concepts like this.
Yeah.
And I think this is why another reason why the Rams were able to they weren't hitting a lot of big runs, but they were consistently getting 5, 6, 7 yards per run. And these kind of poor gap discipline are the reason why.